Welcome to episode 79, Ray Dalio 10 Lessons. This is an outline of episode 79. Lesson number 1, start small. Success takes a long time. For the first 12 years, Bridgewater Associates had anemic growth. He started in a 2-bedroom apartment in Manhattan in 1975 when Ray Dalio was 26. Bridgewater got its first big institutional investor in 1987. In 1987, Bridgewater Associates got a $5 million fixed income investment through the World Bank. In 2017, Bridgewater Associates is the world's largest hedge fund with $160 billion asset under management and 1,500 employees. Lesson number 2, meditation is important. It allows you to step back and look at reality objectively.
In 1968, the Beatles went to India to learn how to meditate. And then I heard quite a bit about it. It was in the media. It was interesting. And then I learned how to meditate. It was definitely life-changing. I would say that probably more than anything, it had a bigger effect on my life than the way it works is it's basically open-mindedness. So what happens is normally you can't control your brain. If you were to sit down and say, I'm not going to think.
Lesson number 3, to make money, you must think differently. This is because the consensus is built into the price.
In order to be successful in the markets, you have to be an independent thinker because the consensus is built into the price. So you have to have a view that's different from other people's. And whenever you do, there's a high probability that you're wrong. So what we needed to do was have people who have independent thinking, and we're willing to thrash that out, and would also have the humility of dealing with that weakness.
Lesson number 4, go both ways. That is, go long and go short. So you can thrive in good times, and you can also thrive in bad times.
And the reason I'm saying not the way we do it is we don't take systematic biases. I think for a lot of people, they're systematically long everything, you know? And so we have a world in which when the world gets bad, it's bad for them. In 2008, it was great for us. I don't know, we had nearly a 10% return in 2008. So we have the opportunity to go either way. We just may be wrong if we're wrong. So I'm so scared about being wrong that it has helped reduce my chances of being wrong because I'm so scared. I won't take bets that I'm...
Lesson number 5, advice to individual investors. Don't compete against institutional investors.
So I'm trying to go back what an investor should do.
Well, and what you think is appropriate for your
here's
investors,
what
you guys are doing.
Well, I want to just convey to investors. I think in the average investor, most everybody, don't compete against pros like ourselves or other people. Don't making tactical asset allocation bets or moving around in the markets because you're probably going to lose. It's difficult for us.
Just buy beta for 15 basis points?
No, you have to have a balanced portfolio.
Lesson number 6, use computer and data for decision making.
I read a study recently that showed the millennials most want more feedback. It sounds like Bridgewater would be millennial heaven. It's continuous feedback.
We've created an app, a device in which, let me step back before I do to explain our background in machine decision making. So something like 1984 or 5, we started to put rules into the computer, and we have decision-making systems which are essentially expert systems, computerized decision-making systems. And so I believe very much in an evidence-based system and the power of the computer to help in decision-making a lot, but you have to keep collecting the information. So we have this device, and it's on the iPad, and as a meeting is going on, people in a very simple way, easy way, can input their thinking about what's going on, including by person. So we have, as you've seen it, something like 60 different characteristics of people, and their attributes. There are things like whether the person's creative, whether they're, you know.
Lesson number 7, the organization is a sum of its people and culture. Here, Ray Dalio is telling us the difference between General Motors and Tesla.
When I hear the interview about General Motors, and you think about one company or another, you think of Tesla, and by contrast. Okay, look, there are two things that make a difference. It's either people or culture, okay? And that's everything. And so everybody's talking about this was done or that was done. Step back. What were your people like? How are they different? What is your culture like, and how's that different? And that's all that matters. And so if you look at it that way and you compare what the future of General Motors is going to be and the future of Tesla is going to be, or any such things, that's what all that makes up the difference.
Lesson number 8, there are two worlds in each person. You must balance these two worlds to succeed. One of the world is the cerebral world, and the other is the emotional world.
Cerebral person who would say, would you like to know about your mistakes and weaknesses? But we also have an emotional reaction, the amygdala, the fight or flight part of our brain. So it takes a lot of adapting. It's the reconciliation of their lower emotional thems with their cerebral thems.
Lesson number 9, how to build idea meritocracy. What is radical truth, radical transparency? It is let everybody see everything. This is the basis of Bridgewater's success.
Meaning tape everything and let everybody see everything. Gave everybody a true understanding so that they can make their own independent decisions, assessments of things. You can't have an idea meritocracy if you can't see things for yourself. So I found that worked in support of each other because I have more of an owner mentality. I find that people bringing up their mistakes and weaknesses is something that they can get over, and it's the basis of producing better results. And it's given fantastic relationships. It's painful in the moment sometimes. People are not used to focusing on those things, but we do it in an idea meritocratic way, so it's non-hierarchical, and it brings us close together, and it's the reason for our success.
Lesson number 10, everything works like a machine. He made a famous video, how the economic machine works. It's about 30 minutes and it's available on YouTube, but I will give you the 3 pillars here. First, productivity growth. Second, short-term debt cycle. Third, long-term debt cycle.
I believe that everything works like a machine. So when we talk about markets, when we talk about economics, you know how I think it's just a machine. Everything has cause-effect relationships, and you can program all of that. We're machines. Human brain's a machine, and we operate that way. And in today's age, we have data. We have a lot of data. And so to be able to look at what people are like is a powerful thing.
When debt rises faster than productivity, eventually the economy will come to a halt. Then comes the next painful, long and slow process of deleveraging, which happens in history again and again.
How the economic machine works in 30 minutes. The economy works like a simple machine, but many people don't understand it. This has led to a lot of needless economic suffering. After we're going to step back and look at these 3 big forces and how they interact to make up our experiences. The short-term debt cycle, creating the long-term debt cycle. This is the long-term debt peak. Debt burdens have simply become too big. For the United States, Europe, and much of the rest of the world, this happened in 2008. It happened for the same reason it happened in Japan in 1989 and in the United States back in 1929. Now the economy begins deleveraging. In a deleveraging, people cut spending, incomes fall, credit disappears, asset prices drop, banks get squeezed, the stock market crashes, social tensions rise, and...
Thank you for watching. Please leave your comments and questions below. Wishing everyone meditation, peace, and prosperity.